Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny, and in this bass fishing video, I'll be doing a lure review of the Deps Buster K. Is it a bust or is it legit? Let's go.
Whoa, there we go. Yeah! Woo, holy cow, folks. Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! And that one hooked. Hey everybody, Topwater Johnny.
Want to welcome you to the next video here. As you saw in the title, this video is all about reviewing the Deps Buster K, which is right here, right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some testing on the water. But before we do the testing on the water, I want you to go ahead and take a closer look at this lure, and then I'll bring you out on the water and we'll do our testing. Okay. All right, everybody, here is the Deps Buster K here. The actual weight of it is a half an ounce. It's 2.4 inches long in actual length here. Look in the back here, the fur in the back here, which is kind of represents the tail. This fur in the back is actually rabbit tail in the back here. As you can see, this is a popping frog with a big cut mouth in the actual front of it here. It actually is very soft here, so it allows for a great hook exposure right here. This is as you can see right here, it's got a flat base on the bottom of it as well. So this lure is really designed to sit flat on top of the water and truly push water. I want to show you how flat it really is. Look at that right there. It actually rotates on its own self because that weight system is designed to stay flat on top of the water. As you can hear, there's a rattle in there, which is their weight transfer system. So when you're casting, you really can get some distance. This lure will walk the dog. However, it's designed to spit and pop water along here as well. And as I mentioned before, just the overall design of it is designed that once that bass grabs hold to this, that it really does lock them down and hold them there. So with that in mind, I just wanted to give everybody a closer look here at the Deps Buster K. All right. Okay, everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here, and we are out at the lake. We got some grass, submerged grass, and cover out here, so it's time to do our testing of the Deps Buster K. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, here's our Deps Buster K here. It's a popping type lure, so let's go ahead and get it out there and see what happens here. And it's a popping lure. And the best part about it is that I can run it right across the grass. And then as soon as I get to an open pocket in the grass, I can just stop it and kill it and let it sit there for a moment and see if anything comes up and bust on it. And that's the part I like about this lure already, is that you're able to, as you can see right here, there's a lot of gunk and a lot of cover, but with this lure, it sinks right into it. And I can slowly bring it through the gunk and the grass edges where the bass could be hiding at. And then it can just sit there in those spots. And if the bass come up, I'll be ready. Or rather, I'll have something ready for them. Okay. Let's try over here. Throw it out. Let it sit. Then just kind of pop it and let it sit. Pop it, let it sit, because once you pop it and hold in that spot, it'll kind of sit in that spot that you're in. And that part I like about it. right. So what I wanted to do there was kind of give you guys a closer look at that. I'll put it in some shallower water so guys can see it up close real quick here. Okay, we got some shallower water right here. All right, as you can see, it sits there and it sits rather low in the water column, as you can see right there. And it's just about popping it. But as you pop it, notice how it goes right to left there. So it actually walks the dog when you do that. Pop it, it wants to go right, wants to go left, wants to go right, wants to go left after you pop. So it really does have the action and the movement of a popper. And so that's what I wanted to show you guys there. One more time here. Right there. And it spits and throws that water. So there you go. All right, so there you go. The Deps Buster K frog here. And it definitely has a place in the tackle box. I'm going to keep fishing it and see what happens, but this completes our test of it. All right. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here, and I hope you enjoyed that testing of that Deps Buster K. In that video that you just saw there, you saw me out on the water testing that lure out. And there's some things that I wanted to talk to you guys about that lure and why that lure can be a great lure to have in your tackle box. And the first thing is that, as you saw in the video, I was fishing it in the muck, right in the grass on top. And it would hit flush and sit flat on the grass and move across the grass. That also is a great thing if you were fishing lily pads, where you could throw it right into the pads and it would hit flat. And that's because that particular lure weight system is in the dead center right here. So it would actually hit flat when it hits the water, and it really stays flat there and doesn't move. As you saw also in my review, this lure will actually spin around on its own little cup right here, which means it does a great walk the dog in the same place. So that's why, first of all, this is a great one here. Also, as you can see, it has a cup mouth in the front here, very high cup mouth, but yet when the bass bite this one, the cup mouth actually will kind of extend back a little bit, which also helps to lock those fish in into the hook as well. And that's another feature that makes this such a unique lure. Also, one of the other things about this lure is that it has a weight transfer system, and we talked about that before, but you can hear it. It has a ball bearing in there so that when you're casting out, it actually really does give you great lift. But then also when you are chucking it along, you really do get that sound and that rattle. But also because you don't have to chuck it you don't have to really so fast, it allows for those ripples. It allows for the noise to really vibrate to get those bass' attention. A couple other things I want to talk to you about with this lure. The next is that besides it being able to spit water, pop water, and walk the dog in place, as you saw in the video, I was really throwing it right along those edge lines and allowing it to sit there so that those bass could key up and bust on it. Now, once again, when they're coming through the grass, you do have to slow down and delay so that you can allow them to really grab hold to that lure. Other things about this one that I wanted to share with you guys is that where would you fish this? Maybe a question you have. Along the weed lines, in the weeds, in the pads. If you're going to fish this lure in open water, then that's about casting it out, letting the water dissipate, the ripples, and then just slowly popping it and delay, pop it and pause all the way back, and allowing those bass to key in on it and identify where it's at. So those are some of the ways that I would fish it in lily pads, grass, and open water. Those are kind of the styles. The lure in itself is a pretty good size lure at 1/2 ounce. So I'm fishing it on 30-pound braid. Some guys I've seen in videos are going up to 50 pounds, but I'm fishing on 30-pound braid, heavy rod, and my bait caster. And because I fish from the bank, I would normally want to fish this on a smaller, meaning maybe a 6'10" or 6'9" rod, because I need to be able to pop it. And when I have my big 7-foot rod or 7'2" rod, it's a little bit harder to pop it from the bank. So I'm going to go with like a smaller rod, at best 7 foot, but most likely 6'10" or smaller, so I can really give it some nice action and some nice pause there. Also, the final things here, I got this lure from the Hookup Tackle, and the price was $21 for this lure here. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with everybody, was kind of like the price and what it costs to, buy this lure and everything there as well. And this lure to me really is a lure that might not be your first lure, but it's a lure you should consider. And here's another reason why I want to share with you guys. As you can see right here, look where the tie is. The tie is actually horizontal, where a typical popping frog, as you can see right here, a typical popping frog, it's in the front right here. It's actually vertical. And the reason that Deps over here has theirs like this is because it keeps it more flat. See, when this type of lure right here hits the water, it starts off like this in the water. Notice where the actual weight system is, right in the back. Notice where depth system is in the back. That means that when this lure hits over here, it hits the water, it starts off like this, then has to come down and start to pop, but then it always does this. Whereas the depth lure, when it hits the water, it's always moving forward all the time. So they've designed this one to truly be that popping frog that can be fished stationary in a spot in the water to really allow those bass a chance to key in and key on it. Now, this lure does work, and I've had videos of me catching fish on it, but I'm really confident in this lure right here. Also, it has, instead of having just the regular legs in the back, this one actually has rabbit fur in the back, which is kind of cool as well. But the design is what I want you guys to notice here. The unique design here and the way that this lure is crafted is built for heavy cover. It's really built for hitting stationary and allowing those bass to come up and drive and hit your lure. So I wanted to share those things with you guys as well. And finally, I want to share with you what lure I'm going to be fishing with next week in Monday's video. And I'm bringing back one that you guys have seen me fish in the fall. This is actually the Chase Bait Cicada right here. As you can see, it has the soft belly right here so that the bass can bite down on it. The unique pattern design, as you can see right there, right even down to the wings, and actually the design within there as well. And I'll be fishing with this lure next week on Monday. I'll be releasing, as you can see, there's already stuff on it because I've been getting it out there and I got some work in on it. So it's a lot of fun to fish this lure right here. And I'm definitely looking forward to sharing this one with you next week. Okay, so that kind of concludes this video for it. Please leave a comment below. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think about this type of lure right here as a frog? Because this is what this is. It's a frog lure. But what are your thoughts about it? Have you ever fished with a lure like this before? Have you seen it before? What's your thoughts? What's your feelings about it? Please leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. Also, as always, I appreciate all comments, all suggestions. Like if there's a lure that's coming out that you think might be interesting for me to review and check out, let me know that lure as well. There's some lures that you guys bring up, I already have it, just never done a review on it. So that's why I'm always open to you guys telling me lures that you're interested in having a look at. So with that in mind, that concludes this video. And I want you to always like, subscribe to the channel, and remember that phrase. Keep your line tight, because when they hit those topwater lures, it's going to be a big bite. I'll see you in the next video.